Well, guys, after a long time away, I'm back to reacting to monster truck events. As, oh boy, this is going to be so nice. After several months, I'm back to reacting to the old Monster Jam events. As I'm going to react to all the 2000 events I can get my hands on. As starting off with the season opener of the 2000 season, even though it was in 1999. And as Monster Jam 2000 Minneapolis, racing of course, which I almost have never watched. I don't think I've ever really watched it. Like, some of the events were aired on TNN and all that and recorded, but a lot of them also weren't. So, this might actually be a first for me. I wanted to watch all the 2000 events I can get my hands on before I get back to my list, because, man, it's a long list. And last time, because remember I watched Orlando and New Orleans 2000 events. The last one, Orlando Freestyle, I think I had this resolution the same, hopefully, so I don't have to re-render or anything like that. Because I think, not fully sure, that it gets copyright claimed by the video and not necessarily the audio. Because I had, like, no audio last time, so, like, no one heard anything. I have a little bit higher this time around, I think. So, hopefully you'll be able to hear, like, all the announcers talk and such and not get screwed over or anything. Pretty bad to have it this low in order for you all to see it, because it's, like, barely seeable, I'm assuming, when you all see it on the video, because I got a much bigger screen when I'm watching it right now. But anyways, let's get to it. The 2000 season opener in Minneapolis. As, here we go. And of course, Bill Goldberg promoting Monster Jam's 2000 season opener, because WCW would do their WCW trucks. But none of them are here, though. It wouldn't be till 2000, like, a few weeks later when they actually did, but he was still getting all promoted and such. And, of course, showing highlights from 1999. Dennis's flip in New Orleans in 1999. Hopefully one day I'll get to watch that, too. And I think, because I was watching Freestyle a little bit earlier to make sure it was the correct footage of the event, and not the 2001 season opener, I think they said, and the announcer said this was the first Monster Jam event that was actually scored competitively in freestyle. They did freestyle, like, starting in, like, 1999 or beforehand, a little bit sooner, but this was, I think, the first event where they actually scored it as a competition such. So we're gonna see that potentially for the first time. And of course, I mentioned this in the 2000 events. I hate when they do that, show highlights of the actual event before it happens. I really don't like it a lot. Like, it spoils everything. It's so stupid, but showing off highlights upcoming. Of course, this is all freestyle highlights mostly, and you're going to see that in the next video, as this is just racing from this event. Yeah, this is, like, the first time I'm seeing it because they're promoted. Oh, Nitro did wait, I think Nitro did compete in this event now that I remembered. It just didn't freestyle. But it was first of a few trucks that were made, because Goldberg was not around yet, the truck. Now, Tom Meents did compete in this event. This was his last event, too, in Bulldozer before he went over to Goldberg a few weeks later. It sucks, too. This is the first event I'm covering about, like, Tom since his retirement, which just sucks immensely. Yep, classic 2000 intro right there.
Welcome to Motor Madness 2000, kicking off the season from Minneapolis. Hey everybody, I'm Dan Moriarty, back with
It's nice to see Dan Moriarty again. And straight line racing, too. So, that's unfortunate for racing tonight, but what can you do? I think there was 12 trucks competing in this event, too. And a couple of them didn't get the freestyle, so hopefully we'll get to see them as well. And you're not going to see it this week, because this is just racing, but freestyle, they do have a boat out there. Actually, I think they have 2 boats out there for later on, so can't wait to see that get destroyed next week like we saw in Orlando. Oh, God, that was awesome. But yeah, of course, like I did in the 2000 events for Orlando and New Orleans, I'm going to talk about, like, history about, like, how I felt like watch this and other historical things as it goes along, because this is a unique thing, unlike the other events where I usually react to the first time seeing them and such. And of course, here we go, showing off stuff from next week in freestyle when I cover it. And who knows, they might do something really stupid this week like they did in Houston 2000 freestyle, which, if it's up there, I'm going to explain, because it's like the worst event of 2000, Houston 2000 freestyle. It's what they did was really stupid, and I hope it doesn't happen here, because like I said, I think this is like the first time I'm seeing race in this event. If I saw it, maybe it was only one other time. And of course, Mike Hogwood and Scott Douglas. Rip Mike. And of course, it was nice to see Scott in World Finals 23. And Tom, of course, talking to each other. That sucked too. Since they're both gone now from the league pretty much. Oh yeah, Dennis is here, but he was injured before going to the event, so Todd Frolic is driving Gravedigger in this event. And this is like a preview of the bad omens Dennis and Gravedigger would have going into the year.
Talked about a few moments ago. It's a whole new world. Not only will we see great racing every night, but now a whole new freestyle competition. It opens up all kinds of.
So yeah, it sounds like this is the first event in Monster Jam where they had competitive freestyle. They had freestyle before, but it was like an expedition such. This is actual score and such. And of course, the Vikings cheerleaders of 1999 were the scores.
I really love this. The fact that we're going to actually crown a champion tonight, and then next week we're going to have the freestyling. Right now, we'd like to introduce you to the newest member of our Motor Madness team, Jennifer Goodwin. Jennifer's going to tell us.
Hopefully they'll show the field very soon, because I think it's 12 trucks.
Thanks, Mike, Scott, and Dan, and I'm ready for an outstanding year with Motor Madness.
And yeah, you see like Reptoid back there, but I don't think this is the actual event. I think this is a different show.
Looking to make our events competitive and safe. So in that
I don't think Reptoid competes in this event. That doesn't look like the same track. And of course, here we go with how it works. But of course, very late at night, and I'm kind of at cook o'clock very soon, so I don't want to keep waiting forever. I want to get to the actual event itself. Alright, maybe it's showing the field. But yeah, like I said, Todd Frolic is driving Gravedigger. There's Tom Mentz when he's driving Bulldoze, I think, for the last time.
We've got a brand new year coming up, and we're just going to see what happens for this new season.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that it would be a nightmare for you and Gravedigger.
Welcome to the show. You have a good time. We will take you guys up close and personal all season. And I've got the guy right here who's going to help us out. Now he's going to get an 8mm camera and show the fans what he does. However, before that, how's the injury?
It's getting better. I'm going to physical therapy. I've had some herniated discs.
Yeah, he got back injury. And of course, this is not the same injury he got during the 2000 season. This is an injury beforehand. And this might be the footage of it. It's amazing how that hit, that looked like not really a bad hit whatsoever, but man, trucks back then, late 90s, early 2000s, when you took a hit like that, you were really whipped around a lot, unlike nowadays where you're nice and cushioned in.
But I've been sitting in my think tank at home, meeting my boat or my beach house. I've been thinking about a new truck. So I got another creation that I'm bringing out for the year 2000. I'm gonna recreate Gravedigger 7. Was always my favorite piece.
Yep, brought back Gravedigger 7, of course. Remember 2000, that shorter wheelbase and had the flame on the roof, which was like unique to the Gravediggers back then.
I'm telling you, your fans are excited about that. We'll be looking forward to it. Hopefully the
And 12 is driven in this event. This is Gravedigger 12, I think.
When we come back, the big boys go racing on Motor Madness.
Alright, let's see. Skip forward a little bit. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's the intro. So they're first up, Screaming Demon. It's like the first time. Like, I only got to see his truck like one time back then. This is like first time seeing it. There's the old Dragon Slayer Craig Christian drive before he went to Iron Outlaw and Max Destruction. And there's the original Destroyer that I mentioned before, guys. Airman Dan Evans, the original Destroyer before he would update it later on in 2000. And just so y'all know, an MTWS reference with the 15th anniversary too, this is what Predator originally looked like from 2009 to 2013. It was this body and almost the exact same paint job for Predator. So how nostalgic seeing it again. And then there's Misbehaving, I think it was, which was Craig's wife. And there's Patsuma Thrasher. We saw him, of course, in Orlando. And there's Tony Farrell, Rip Him in Wild Fang. I don't think he competed in freestyle, though, last week either. Same goes for Screaming Demon, I think. And that is... Oh, yeah, Jim Kohler, Mr. Excitement. An Avenger, that old buy before he got update after the New Orleans flip. And, of course, there's Todd Frolic, driving Gravedigger this time around, instead of Dennis. And, of course, Tom Mentz in Bulldozer. I believe this was his last time driving Bulldozer before he went over to Goldberg a few weeks later. And of course, there's Nitro is showing off the WCW trucks.
And have they acquired a hot shoe to get behind the wheel? Excalibur driver Chuck Hawkins will be one to watch.
Yeah, a lot of wrestlers supporting that Nitro.
And they got Charlie Park in the drive, even though I think this is the only time he drove out in the World Finals, because otherwise it was Joe Payne and Cliff Thomas. So there's Nitro. This is the only time I'm seeing Charlie drive Nitro other than World Finals 1, with that like one clip where he raced Goldberg, since the great freestyle footage has never been seen yet. And going up against Craig. Yep, this is definitely the first time I'm seeing this. Let me move that out of the way. And of course, this is straight line racing. See how they do. Ooh, maybe. Oh, Craig's off the side though. He had the lead, and of course Joe had the huge air. I mean, Charlie Park had a huge air, and he slams into the dumpsters at the end. Craig had the lead, but he went off the side, so that might not have counted. That might have been a penalty. Okay, they said Charlie won, so yeah. Let's see if they say right here.
Chuck Hawkins out of Atlanta, Georgia, wins here in the Nitro machine. But is he in trouble for the rest of the night? Here's Dan Moriarty.
All right, you look somewhat relaxed right now. I know inside you're not. What happened?
Well, it's a brand new truck. I hate to make excuses. The throttle was a little tense on it, and the pedal's a little stiffer on it. I went a little further than I expected to. I was trying to make up ground. Got a little too much air, took a bad bounce. By the time I got to the brake pedal, it was a little shy there.
When you don't run a truck for so long and things on it are new, this kind of stuff is expected to happen once in a while.
Yeah, things are going to happen and parts are going to break. What it actually ended up doing was locking up the rear end then when it hit.
Oof.
I'm not actually sure if it locked up when it landed and I was on the throttle.
Well, I guess that would explain why I don't think he drove in freestyle the next week.
We're doing what we can. I'm not sure if we can come through with it.
But yeah, Charlie won right now. Looks like Tom Mentz in Bulldozer. So sweet seeing Tom drive this again. I miss Bulldozer so much.
Well, we saw that as Tom kind of came in late to the Motor Madness season.
As they're towing Nitro away. Looks like Dennis out there too. And again, it would make sense since Palkin was a Gravedigger driver to hand. So Nitro, actually now I think of it, because I've mentioned before in the history of MTWS, I went to Digger's Dungeon in 2000, like Memorial Week 2000. Lyle Hancock was there, and he put me in one of the Gravediggers that were in the garage with him. I think Nitro was there biless in the back too. Now I remember that. I think Nitro was back there too. I think we had it in a picture somewhere too, but I don't know if I'd be able to find it. That's sold. But of course, we're not here for that. Like I said, I'm in a hurry, so I want to watch the event. Oh, looks like Tom facing Tony. Ah, boy. It's nice to see Tom one more time before he went over to Goldberg, and hopefully, if I can remember the exact schedule, I might try and do it in exact order, but I don't remember the exact schedule. So maybe I'll try and do Atlanta next time out, if that's the next one. I think Atlanta or Houston's the next one. That way we can see Tom drive Goldberg for the first time. And ironic finals it would be too. Because I saw racing in Atlanta at least. And Tom, of course, got the win. Farrell tried to keep up there. I mean, it is straight line racing, so it's not really much to say. Honestly, it's more like what determines the winner is going to be keep it straight so you don't get the penalty and get the jump, the whole shot and such. Otherwise, it's anyone's game. But Tom got the victory pretty easily. Farrell did go off the side a little bit, but I don't know if that counted for a penalty. But it didn't matter anyway because Tom won straight up. And by the way, look at the big error he got off a little hill, destroying idiots once again.
What happened?
I don't know for sure. We broke some in the front knuckle. We're trying to get it back together. A little bit excessive on the air, not a whole lot of room down there to stop. I had to get on the brakes real hard in a hurry.
And now Bulldozer's damaged.
We got to get it together, though.
It's going to be okay, you think?
I'm going to try. All right. We got the parts. I don't know.
I think, don't want to spoil it, but I think he does come back. but I'm not fully sure. Alright, so now on to the next race. Here we go, Screaming Demon. Who was driving Screaming Demon back then? Here we go, Mr. Excitement. Before he became Mr. Excitement. Screaming Demon has the lead. And it's going to be Screaming Demon. Oh, Jim didn't even go up the ramp. He went off the side, but so that'd be a DNQ if that was by MTWS rules. So Screaming Demon easily going to get the win. At least Screaming Demon at least hit the jump. What happened to Jim? Yep, just went off the side. Kind of reminds me of like what happened in New Orleans a few weeks later. Gary Bauer? Yep. Don't, like I said, this is like the first like few times I actually got to see Screaming Demon compete. I don't think I saw it compete in Monsham for like several years later, like 04 or 05 or so. It's been a long time. Alright, Dan Evans, Christensen. Yep, so cool to see that old Destroyer body. Like the one, only, that's the, I think the only time I've ever got to see that body out in, at all. Because after that, he does a new body later on in the year. And Misbehaving gonna get the victory as Dan hit the rollers at the end. She usually gets the win to move on to round 2. Yeah, Dan did not have a lot of speed off of it.
Well, he got out of his hole okay, but then Julie Christensen really gets him in no man's land right as she's picking the horsepower up his bag. Look, she just exploded over that second section.
Okay. Alright, so who is next? Alright, here we go. Todd Frolic, Gravedigger 12. And you're wondering, why is there a checkered flag back there? I think it was because he beat, Dennis beat Tom the last time they raced. Because I know they raced in World Finals 0, but that was like back in the middle of 1999. So this is like several months later. So I don't know if they raced since. But that might be why he has the flag back there. Continue that trend where Dennis and Tom had, and Scott Hartsock too, at one point where they kept like taking flags from each other after each week. Alright. Frolic going up against Suma. And Gravedigger going to get the victory with no effort. But of course, really close to the wall.
One thing you've noticed with all this horsepower on these trucks is how tough it is to get slowed down and stopped. Thrasher, as you see, as we said, little.
Yeah, trucks weren't that easy to stop back then.
Here's Gravedigger, a great run.
Absolutely. Watch Frolic.
He did go up the side a little bit, but he lined up straight, so he should be okay.
First run under the belt, he looked good.
Yeah, it felt a little slow on the hole. Dennis was over here. We're talking about maybe changing the gear, getting down a little bit, so it'll come out better. We definitely got enough top end. We're getting real close to that wall down there, and that's what the fans want. So we might leave it the way it is. We're not sure.
Everyone's close to that wall. What can you do to make sure you don't go head first into it? Because, yeah, maybe the fans like it, but if you hit it, you don't run again.
Yeah, we don't run again. We're going to try to power slide it down there and just avoid the wall. Like I said, we might go down a gear, and that'll give us better launch, but, you know, we won't have the top end to get us out by the wall. But I'm not sure. It's going to be Dennis's call. He was talking to me. We're not sure what to do yet.
Alright, here we go. So now it's time for round 2. Let's see. Oh, it didn't show the rest of it, but like I said, January 7th to 8th of 2000, somewhere in Tennessee. Alright, so here we go with round 2, and looks like Jim came back as a fast loser. So Craig versus Jim. Interesting challenge. I mean, interesting. One of these two is going to make the semifinals. I think Craig might have it, though, because Jim, as we all know, is not really the best racer. But hey, it is straight line racing, so anything can happen.
I think Avenger may be one of the dark horses here. Avenger with a lot of power. It's really conducive to
I say it too, especially since he made the finals a few weeks later in New Orleans when he had his amazing flip. And how about that? Oh, Jim went off the side a little bit. Ooh. Could that have maybe cost him? As I don't know what happened with Craig down there. Like the truck just died. Got a lot of speed off there. Oh, he was off the side. Could have been a penalty by their rules back then. Yep. So Jim blew it. He got the penalty. Had a good opportunity, but of course Craig has problems, looks like.
We broke a blower belt. And a bit easy fix. We'll just go get another round of trailer. We'll be ready for next round. Will you run again or just go for the freestyle? No, I'll run again because I guess Avenger missed the second set of cars, so that makes him disqualified. So since I finished the round, I didn't win the race, but I was the only one that made a legal pass. Nothing wrong with a free pass, isn't there? Well, sometimes you have
So Craig won, but Dragon Slayer damaged, so see if he can come back in time. Otherwise, Jim will come back. So I have to keep an eye on that. But right now, Dragon Slayer semifinals.
Now Thrasher, as a fast loser, is coming back here in the second round. But Thrasher has made some changes.
So Thrasher's fast loser?
Hi, Pat. After that first round, I saw you guys over here working. A little gearing change. How come?
Yeah, this is a track that required a little bit more gearing than what we had. The motor was revving pretty high. I want to get a little bit more wheel speed out of the truck if I'm going to be in the next round.
Happy to be here so far.
I'm so happy to be here. It's a great race.
You came a long way.
I certainly did. I drove 25 hours to be here. I want to go home with a win.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
We're locked in now.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so now on to... Oh, talking to Medusa! And guys, this was before she started driving. Oh, ooh, here we go. Let's see the list here. So, let me rewind a bit. Maybe it'll show. It said January 22nd in Houston. That was an event that was on YouTube, live, and Indianapolis. Both of those events were done on TV. This second Minneapolis event was not done, I don't think. And neither Tampa. This wasn't done either. That's an arena event. So now I know. Houston and Indianapolis are the same week. I always thought Houston was like one of the earlier events, but I'm pretty sure Atlanta was January 8th, I think. And that was in those two events, Indianapolis and Houston were a week before the New Orleans events. So I gotta keep that in mind. But anyways, guys, I had a suspicion, but according to that might be Medusa. And this was right before she started driving that season. She was still being trained by Dennis at this time. So let's see what she says potentially.
No.
Not yet.
Comfortable.
You may be nervous when it starts going?
No.
Of course, nothing really.
Confident, aren't you?
I know Dennis.
All right. There you go. Things are happening on the court.
Of course, we'll see Medusa in a few weeks when she makes her debut. I'm guessing in Anaheim. So now I gotta remember, I think it's Orlando next. Atlanta next. Houston and Indianapolis are the same week. Before New Orleans, so I gotta do them back to back. I gotta make sure to do them back to back. So here we go. Misbehaving Thrasher. And woo! Oh! I think Thrasher still got, but man, Pat almost choked at the end right there. He definitely got the tune-up needed to get the win, but oh boy, he almost choked it. Yep, Thrasher got it. Whoa, man, that was definitely a needed tune-up. Woo, boy! Just barely got it. As Thrasher, fast losers now in the finals. No, semifinals. I wonder if there's maybe a fast loser as well.
You're cranking. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. We drove a long way to be here. Right now, I'm missing my daughter's 10th birthday. I hope to bring home a win for her tonight.
How's the truck running?
Truck's running great. I'm glad to be here.
Anything that you can improve upon, or you gotta just keep it locked in the way it is?
Actually, I think I gotta cut a better light.
Really, that much?
Yes, I do.
By how much?
Whatever it takes to beat Digger.
You can beat Digger.
The truck is there. I can beat Digger with a good light.
Coming up, we'll explain some freestyling terms.
Well, I don't think we really need to do freestyle jargon. Oh! Ooh, I want to see this, though. I definitely want to see this, at least. This is important. Okay, the 15th. Wait, could that be the Pontiac Silverdome? I mean, the Pontiac event that they filmed? I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be the final event of the year before World Finals. Unless it's like a first show and the one they show on TV was second. But San Antonio's the 15th, so I gotta remember. So it's gotta be Atlanta, San Antonio and Indianapolis and Houston same week. I gotta remember that. I want to make sure you got the exact order set. And if anyone knows the exact order, let me know too. That way I got the order correct. I would like to do this all in order. So far, none of these events they are showed on TV yet. Yep, none of these events so far. These are like arena events. None of these were done on TV yet. Well, here's another Astrodome event, but I don't think that's Monster. But it is Monster, but I don't think it's the actual trucks themselves. Because remember, back then they did a lot of different stuff at the same time. Oh, here we go, here we go. The next race. Didn't Tony lose in the last race to Tom? So it looks like another fast loser. So we have Dragon Slayer, we have Thrasher, I think. A lot of fast losers looks like, potentially. Unless Tom couldn't come back from his breakage. And Todd is going to get the VZ victory, but watch out! And by the way, that's not the first time he's going to be doing it if I remember correctly. But yeah, the trucks back then did not have a lot of time to stop. You all know, too, infamously in World Finals 2, where that happened a lot when they hit the dumpsters at the end. Of course, Pablo infamously flipped into them. Alright, Screaming Demon and Bulldozer.
Great teamwork from a lot of guys. How it happened? I think I got on the brakes too much when I was in the air. I had so much
Truck is back to 95%. That's funny. He said so.
Bulldozer at 95%. Still pretty good. Still awesome. Screaming Demon, though, Gary Bauer, we talked about him a little bit earlier. Used to drive the Nightmare truck, known as a great veteran, always there with
I remember Nightmare.
horsepower. He's been that way his whole career, though. He knows how to make what he's got work for him. I don't know if he's got enough, though, to knock off the awesome Bulldozer.
Here we go. Kept trying to keep it up with Tom, but it's very difficult to beat Tom. And Tom moving on to the semifinals. No effort. Alright, here we go for semifinals. So Avenger and Bulldozer, Thrasher and Gravedigger. So sounds like Dragon Slayer was not able to come back.
And I'll tell you, Pat Suma has been a surprise with that change in gearing got into the semifinals.
That's what I was going to say, Scott. Remember the change he made? That strategy has paid off. And here's Avenger, Jim Kohler. A lot of horsepower. He can do it.
He's going to have to stay on course this time, though, as he takes on the high-flying Bulldozer and Tom Mintz.
And let's not forget Gravedigger and Todd Frolic still around in the semifinals. Most would say the favorite here tonight in Minneapolis.
It's time for the semis. The Avenger is here. Now, Jim Kohler gets to come back because Craig Christensen was not able to fix the Dragon Slayer. He thought it was just a blower belt. Had to be more wrong with the blower for Dragon Slayer not to be able to
so Tom and Jim gonna go at it. Future freestyle champions, but here they are trying to make the finals for the first event of 2000. Yeah, I got obliterated at the line. That's gonna be an easy victory for Tom. Jim just stalled like at the line. I think it was like flat, not flat spin, but he was like spinning at the line but not getting anything going, I think. So Tom, of course, in the finals easily.
Look at the whole shot by Bulldozer. No mistakes at all. A lot of power.
That's just an awesome driver and a great
Oh, God.
Jim Kohler gave it a great effort here tonight.
But hey, not bad for Jim making it to the semifinals. First time seeing him. And of course, we know he would make the finals and get revenge on Tom like next month in New Orleans.
Tell me, how come you're so
guy. I'm just now getting licks in there. Hey, his days are numbered.
It's like Mr. Excitement, excitement in him.
You got to the semis. You're pleased with that, obviously. When your finals becomes Bulldozer and Gravedigger, you got to be happy that Avenger went that far.
Oh, yeah.
However, what happened in the race before? You were sideways.
What happened was we tried some new stuff on the steering. We blew a steering cylinder, and all the fluid went out, and it cocked it totally sideways. We got it back to the pits. My crew is excellent. We got it fixed. Back out there for the next round. Nothing stops us, man. Nothing stops us. Hey, you gotta like
Wow, really? You're gonna do a freaking commercial for the other semifinals race? Are you serious? Wow. Alright. So, here we go now. Next up. Who will face Tom in the finals? Todd Frolic and Gravedigger, Patsuma Thrasher. A rematch from, I think, round 1. As they're about to go at it.
In order to have any shot at all against Gravedigger. And he also hoping that Gravedigger will make a mistake. And again, with a new driver, you say that's a possibility. Frolic hasn't made any so far today.
Both drivers strapped in, focusing on getting a good start.
Terrible view right there, and going to be an easy victory for Todd Frolic. That was a terrible view to start the race. Uh-oh, he's crab walking a bit. So we're going to have a Gravedigger Bulldozer Finals. Now, it's not as insane because Dennis isn't there. But, hey, it's going to be awesome still. Like, the two best racers of the night are going to go at it. Which is the exact finals I knew. Because I at least know the finals of this event. I already know the outcome of it. But not going to tell you who won. You're going to have to wait and see.
All right, he took you. However, you went pretty damn far.
Yeah, I felt like the truck was all there. I'm not sure.
That's honestly probably up there as like the farthest I've ever seen Patsuma make racing, I think, to the semifinals.
You gotta be proud, man. Losing is nothing. You gotta be big time proud.
Well, I'm still 100%. I'll be back for freestyle.
Great job.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to the daughter.
Thank you very much.
Bulldozer and Gravedigger in our finals.
Alright, here we go. Time for a wild finals. And of course, the Malox Minute showing Dennis's flip in New Orleans 1999.
Not a fun day for Dennis Anderson.
Last year at the Superdome, he just catches that barricade and that shoots him up.
Ah, beautiful. Ah, so nostalgic. But anyways, it's now time for the finals.
Got two left, Gravedigger and Bulldozer. What do you think?
What a final it's going to be. Remember, you've got the championship truck from a year ago and a good driver in it, but not the guy who won the title a year ago. Todd Frolic's there tonight. Tom Mintz is the hungriest guy in the business. He always wants to beat the Gravedigger. I think the winner's going to be Bulldozer.
We'll see. All right. I love your prediction. Bulldozer, I might have to go with it.
It's absolutely not anything against Todd Frolic, but I'll tell you, if there's just one hair off because of a new driver and a new truck, Bulldozer.
This is a big race, too.
He's just absolutely annihilated people.
This is huge. Tom Mintz, Todd Frolic going at it. Classic, like, Gravedigger Bulldozer rivalry before Tom goes to Goldberg. Here we go. The big finals.
Finals of Monster Jam at Minneapolis. Ready to go.
And there they go. And it is gonna be a close race right there. And then Todd Frolic smashes into the dumpsters at the end. Let's go. A lot closer than I remember, because this is the first time I've seen the finals in like over 10 years.
Everything we expected in the final, it comes down to a matter of inches. I think Gravedigger got it. Let's take a look right as they cross the line. Yes, you can see that.
Yep. Todd Frolic pulled it off. Got the victory. As a fill-in, let's go. Upset Tom in the finals. What a race.
You go 4 rounds. You get Gravedigger. The fans loved it. You must love the competition. How did he take that race?
I don't know. You know, I didn't see the video. I know.
It just sucks Tom's retired now.
We came up just a little bit short, but we
stayed away from the wall. That's real important, you know. It takes a lot of money to fix these trucks when that happens.
And the truck held up okay from the first round where you broke a little bit and you came back strong. I mean, it was running, looking 100%.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, it was a little weak there on the front end, but it was holding up good. You know, we got a lot of spare parts. Fortunately, we had to put one on there, so we'll have to make some more.
And that was not the reason for the loss, then that spare part?
No, not necessarily, you know, just two good trucks, two good drivers. And,
Yep, you two gave it all you had, but Todd Frolic held on and got a win. And I think that was like his only racing win in total I've ever seen him do, I think. But Todd got the win, but he stuffed into the dumps at the end, and that was going to be a problem later on freestyle.
I knew if I hit the brakes, you know, any later, I'd hit the wall, and I hit the wall anyway, so ain't a good deal all around.
The run itself, where'd you go wrong then, do you think? I mean, you won the race, you got him in the air, it seemed, after that last jump. Did you give it too much for the victory?
Yeah, we stayed in the throttle way too long. I mean, I knew I did it. I hit the wall earlier tonight. They told me to really be careful, you know, watch the wall, and I just basically brain faded. I guess I did a digger thing.
It must go with the truck.
It goes with the truck, yeah. I've never hit a wall before. That's my first one.
Can you believe that? And it's the first time racing that darn thing.
I think it has something to do with Bulldozer over there, too. Tom's a pretty good antagonizer, and Dennis and him have got a pretty good thing going already, and I've always ran Tom hard. Makes it a lot of fun.
But you get the victory anyways.
We got the victory. We're paying for it right now. My crew guys are working hard.
Yeah, he got the win, but he slammed the wall so hard that he really did damage Gravedigger to the point where I don't even think he was able to freestyle later on at night. There were a lot of trucks that broke at the beginning of the season in this event.
Everybody else who got knocked out early gets points, but they got some work to do.
That'll do it from up here in the booth. For Scott Douglas, I'm Mike.
Showing highlights.
We'll send you down one more time, down on the floor to Dan Moriarty.
What a first night of Motor Madness 2000. I mean, we finished the way we finished last year. Bulldozer.
And showing the cars being taken out after freestyle's over. Another spoiler.
Will he be back next week for, well, that lovely, wonderful freestyle? We'll see. They'll be thrashing. Well, you know what? The Vikings cheerleaders, they were a good time. Jennifer Goodwin, fan.
Yeah. So, yeah. That was Monster Jam. Minneapolis 2000. Well, actually, technically it was 1999, but it was a season opener in 2000. Oh, man. How nostalgic that was. Although, this was really the first time I saw most of racing. The only one I really remember was the finals. And Todd Frolic dominated in the fill-in for Gravedigger, although he did break at the end, and I don't think he's going to be able to freestyle afterwards. A lot of trucks I don't think are going to freestyle in the next event and such. But we will be seeing it, because next up will be 2000 Minneapolis Freestyle, which I have seen growing up. I cannot wait to rewatch it again. So, see you all then.